here or anywhere in this country.
Okay, y'all.
Radio show. I don't go there.
You act like I'm going to move in a minute. Listen, we getting ready to start this. We just got done doing a lecture in Houston, Texas. Listen, we got the squad. Brother Todd is right here. Cool, brother. You got Brother Todd. We got the brothers back there filming. You got brothers filming. Y'all can just get your B-rolls. What I'm saying, no, I want y'all in here too, but this is B-rolls. My brothers is over here on a documentary right now, so I'm going to leave them in a minute. Yeah. So listen, the lecture was off the hook in Houston. It was packed. We had people from Ohio. You can film, bro. It's all good.
No, this needs to be charged.
Okay. We had people from Houston. From Ohio. What is it? Florida,
Pennsylvania,
New Jersey, Pennsylvania. What else we have somebody coming in? Memphis, Tennessee, Alabama. Yeah. Listen, we had people coming from all over. It was crazy. Like I said,
they got babies in the house.
Babies in the house. We had little JJ in the house. He was hustling the Sabir Bay's water and the Sabir Bay's buttons, man. It was crazy. So it was really good. Like I said, Brother Taj tore it down. I don't know where Brother Abdullah at. We still sitting in the hotel. But we had Brother Abdullah going into etymology, you know, what he does. And listen, I just want to sit back and let these brother and sister that was there tell y'all what they thought about it. I told you people came in from all over. Where my brother at? What other brother at? X. Let me show y'all something real quick. They shooting a doc, so I'm gonna just pick this up and show y'all how they got the lights set up for us back there. Doc. So them brothers coming with their lights, camera, action. So listen, y'all can get some testimonies, man, real quick. Not from me, not from Taj, but from
Miss Shayla Renee.
Say it again.
Miss Shayla Renee.
Ex-LA Lakers dancer.
Okay, woo
woo. What she said, woo woo. Got my man Steve over here. What's up?
All right.
Listen, I'm gonna just move out the way. I'm gonna run upstairs, go grab something from my man. Let them give their testimony. Brother Todd's gonna tell y'all what happened. We're gonna shoot and let Steve say what he thought. If y'all like, leave a comment above on the bottom of the Sabir Bay show. All right, take it away. Let me put the sister up first. What do you think?
Goodness, this was like power packed. First time I've been able to sit with some amazing people that just like the story, the era, everything. There was young, old, in between, those with a lot of knowledge, some just beginning in this journey, but we just got the breakdown at what words are and how important they are, what the law is, who we are as people, the power that we have, comprehending who we are, and the fact that we've for as long as that we could ever remember, our rights being taken from us, and we didn't even know it because we don't know who we are really. And so to be able to have that given back to us, just in just a few words, to know exactly what belongs to you. It was never taken, but from up in here. And once that was restored, then now that empowers you. That's what I got tonight. Like whatever I thought I knew, just opened up a whole nother book. And just literally all I could do was just keep writing, because there's so much to research, and we cannot be afraid to look these things up in a dictionary, carry your books with you, to go get your dictionary on law, just have a dictionary so that you can understand what you are and understand what you are being taught. So that's all I got to say, because I can keep going and going and going. So go ahead.
If we do some good, fine. Go ahead, Steve.
I enjoyed it a lot, mostly because I got to help out. So I got to sit behind the stands and hand out all the information that is needed. What I liked about it was Abdullah, Taj, and Sabir.
Absolutely.
And so the transition of it was perfect, because language was the beginning. It was like you had to understand the terminology, you had to understand the words, the etymology, and without the beginning of that, you probably wouldn't understand the rest of it. And that's what I liked, how it started from there. Connotative linguistics, denotative, what we had to know about definitions that are being used in a legal perspective, like United States and West America and things like that. That will give you a better understanding of what was really being played on us. So from there, we transitioned from Abdullah when Taj got on. Then that's when everything started to make sense, because then now I finally got an understanding why history and law had to go together. And like it had to, because
There's no separation.
Yeah. So, and I forget what is you say if you don't know your history, you can't figure out where you went wrong.
If you're missing one, meaning that you can learn law procedure, processes.
Get over there, Steve.
If it's not given to you with the history together, you're handicapped.
Yeah.
But they know that if you don't know that, they can play you. And this is where scholars on our side, so-called black leaders, make their fiat from the Romans by making sure that they don't do that. Now the corporate entity operatives give them a 501c3 kickback and tell them to tell the believers that this is for teaching the word of the Lord. They just don't tell them it's the Lords of London under the Treaty of Verona.
That's right.
You see, and so what happens is our people are extremely intelligent and resourceful, but for some reason they still can't compete. Meaning that someone else can go up a hill in their car with a 4-cylinder, and we need a 10-cylinder, and we're still behind. And we still can't understand why we got to do things 10 times harder when we're supposedly so spiritual.
Wrong feeling.
Because we don't know that we've been handicapped from day one because we can't read.
That's exactly.
That's
what I got.
In the language.
I was going to say that's what I got out of everything that you have brought out. That is education in the word, and it's in that word that's in the culture. And if you don't you're not a people if you don't understand your culture.
Exactly.
Which is why you have groups of people working to take our culture because they were not a people. They were not.
What you're identifying and what we need to know collectively, we're identifying one of the functions of colonialism. A colonist is to politics what a leech is to biology.
Oh, wow.
They correlate. So the things that you see take place in the political realm are actually reflections of the studies of nature and machinery.
Right.
So European colonial operations, that's why it's also called what? Blood sucking.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because now if we talk about culture, and in culture we have a spiritual group of people who've been removed even from their spiritual essence, and in doing so, then you remove them from their culture.
Now they are food.
Oh, wow.
And so that they don't recognize it, they have their leader guys talk about it's racism, so they don't say what it really is. You're now food.
Right.
For the vampires.
Yes, exactly.
Now,
but we've had movies that have brought that out.
Yes,
over time.
That's why they can put it under your nose.
Right. Because let me tell you, there's a movie that came out, I want to say the last 4 or 5 years, and it was called Cloud Atlas. And I don't know if anybody, but Cloud Atlas showed in the middle. Yes. And literally she says they are feeding us ourselves. And that's exactly what's happening.
Now, look at this. Now, did you notice that when I think they so-called legalized it, so-called around 1969 abortion, and it's based on the Dred Scott case. And then, did you notice that all these abortion clinics all over the country, that they don't have these funerals?
No.
What did you just say? Because they're sent to the fast food markets. They're all in the burgers.
That's right. Okay.
They're in the burgers. You're eating your own babies.
Exactly.
Now,
it is listed, but it's true. It is true.
And this, you all, look up Rabbi Finkelstein. And he tells you bluntly,
Okay, so look, I'm going back in time real quick.
Reverend?
so I think I was maybe 10 years old when this movie came out. It was Silent Green.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Silent Green?
Telling you again.
Right. So now we've had several films that lead up to that.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're dealing with children's film, Ants.
Mm-hmm.
That was another one
mm-hmm.
where they were being flooded out
mm-hmm.
and then fed
mm-hmm.
to the so-called what was it, locusts or grasshoppers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is what happens.
It's a common theme.
Now, look at the gangs of New York that are in contract with the corporate entity United States Corporation that was registered in France, bankrupted, then repeated in Guam, Puerto Rico, etc. All these shell United States. The gangs of New York made contracts to enforce the unum sanctum policy. The gangs of New York become what you call police departments. Mm-hmm. Now, and so the main target is to kill, suppress, jail for the public, for the private jail systems, the Aboriginal people of the land, under the guise of being law.
Right.
Not under law,
right.
Under the guise of being law. Right. So they'll see youth. So like say certain medical facilities need so many organs. So they go find an excuse to kill them. They steal the organs and the body goes.
Right. Because that's what's
the
happening
family
right now.
does not get the body, it goes to the burger places.
Right.
And now, anyone, for those of you who may question this, and I know some of you are scientists, etc., although many of you have no access. If you did a test on the burgers that people buy in the supermarkets, and particularly in the so-called fast food stores, you will guarantee find human DNA in all those burgers.
Wow. Okay.
Guaranteed.
So let's go back there because you said something that was key, and I didn't want that to be missed. You said abortion was legalized in, what did you say, 1969?
It's a food stock.
Right.
Source.
However, I like what you said. I hit there when you said, "Why are there not any funerals? Where is the where do we the disposing of those bodies?
Yes.
Where is that?"
Yes.
Right.
Why do you think that they're so particular with collecting what they're calling medical waste?
Right.
And they have plastic liners that they definitively separate where they amputate people's legs and different parts of their bodies, and they carefully package it, and they put it in the refrigerator. And
but you know what I want to say?
People's burgers are not what they think they are.
Right. So I'm going to say this had to be somewhere in about I'm going to say somewhere between 86 and 92. Okay. There were facilities that were discovered that they had not disposed of the bodies of these fetuses, and they were in black plastic bags, just like piles and piles, and they were trying to figure out how come where are they being disposed, and nobody could answer where they were being disposed. Right. Exactly. So then we're seeing how this loop is, and how right now this is really interesting because our own bodies are not designed to eat our own body.
That's where your cancers come from.
Exactly. So therefore, you have the breakdown of the brain, and you cannot.
That's what they call mad cow disease.
Wow. You seeing this? Just like so. Here's and why this is so important is because that's why we're not able to process.
And it's part of why you see the increased Alzheimer's.
Exactly. Wow. So now here's so here
that's aside from the luminous
right. So now we're putting why it is so why the increase on eating natural food, okay, let's just say vegetarian, right? Because it's from the earth, it's not of yourself, right? You're not eating your own body, right? So therefore now we're gonna have to pull the price up, so you can't afford it. But if you want to act like you're a vegetarian, we'll give you something that looks like vegetarian. We're gonna call that GMO.
And toxic you anyway.
Right. And we search really hard to find anything that's non-GMO, so-called.
And this is back King Alfred. It's part of the unum sanctum genocide policy.
Oh, wow.
But they must present it in a manner that gives the appearance that they're serving you or advancing you.
Right.
And then they need black leader guys to convince you that they're spiritual leaders and their job is really to pet the lamb while everybody else got a sweater.
Right.
And the lamb's always in the corner going. One of these days, while you get fleeced, they're feeding you ridiculous race arguments. Race is the human species, keep in mind, to keep you off of nationality.
Right.
Because that's your estate source. Keep in mind this. If one has no right of claim in honor to your mothers and fathers, in law, you have no right of claim of estate. This is called, you'll write this down, ESCHEAT, ESCHEAT. This is what the corporate operatives do in all of our states. This is why you see, for people who don't really understand this, let's make it so you can understand this. Like when you see Asiatics, particularly in Western Hemisphere, that are under definitively the Christian black codes, say like Sammy Davis Jr., Red Fox, and you can go on and on with all of these wealthy Asiatics that end up being poor. And the Inquisition Revenue Services, reincorporated as the Internal Revenue Service, 1913 to 16, come and steals their estate. And a lot of times, family have to come around and friends to pay for their burials.
Right.
And you can look at back in all the so-called big-time singers, musicians, actors and actresses over and over again. And others amongst them that make pacts with them, they already got contracts on them and insurance policies on them on top of the contract, so they make fiat whether they live or die. And then when they get to the point where they can make the corporate operatives more wealthy, they kill them.
Right. You know, that's interesting that you're even saying that, because so I had an in-law. She was like she was 99, and she had a piece of property, and it went into probate. So there was no contest. It was two children, son and daughter. The son said, "I'm giving it to my older sister because it's rightfully hers." Was in probate for a year. They did not want to give that property to the daughter. They wanted the two of them to fight. And they said, well, it appears that maybe he might have a legal share in that. And the brother says, now mind you, they're in their 80s. These are adult children. He says, I don't have a problem. Just give it to my sister. They didn't want to give it to the sister.
Because the barristers, keep in mind, this is what they know. The estate, and the reason it goes into probate, because you have no trust.
Right. So watch this.
Yeah.
Interesting you're saying that. So in order to get that out of probate, they had to come to another party to create to create a mortgage, right?
Dead.
Right.
Now mortgage means dead pledge.
There you go.
Contract is dead, and your body becomes the pledge.
Okay. Now,
as well as your estate.
Now watch out. Can I stop y'all for 1 minute? Yeah. I'm gonna get Steve's input on the lecture.
we was getting into it.
I know we was getting into it, but the brothers want to interview Taj. So hold up, no, I want to get his input now. Can we switch places?
Yes, absolutely.
Go ahead, switch over, and I want to get everybody's input so everybody can see what went down in Houston. So listen, Steve, what did you get out of that, brothers? If y'all want, y'all come over and tell us what y'all thought about the lecture in Houston. Let's get it in. This is what we're doing. This is the last night in Houston. So go ahead, Steve.
When I was talking about the transitioning, how it went in, it flowed perfectly. You know, it was everything was spoken plainly. Everything was done on a board, so it wasn't just speaking. So you had some visuals there. What I liked best was the clarification, because not a lot of things get clarified. Some things just get said. They go over somebody's head. You don't know what somebody's talking about. So what I like is y'all take the time, stop, explain.
Did we sell any paperwork?
You don't sell paperwork.
I'm just saying, I don't know, Todd. You know, people say they say we sell paperwork, Todd.
I don't sell.
I don't know. I just wanted to make sure we ain't sell no paperwork, right?
Nah.
I just want to know.
Nah.
But we did have Out of Darkness there, though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, though. But go ahead, bro.
So the whole atmosphere was fine. It was clear, cut, dry. You know, there's never any mistakes. Everything was very understandable, and everybody kept coming. Like I said, I was at the stands selling out the DVDs. Everybody was coming up after each little break. You know, I need this, and this.
That's what we do. This,
the Black Law Dictionary went out.
Yeah.
All the books went out. I was like, I don't know, man. You want me to write you a book? I don't know what I can do.
He flew in from Boston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boston. Told you we had people coming in. Shout out to all my family that's in San Antonio, man, that's looking at this. They just text me and told me they live, man. So we had people coming in from all over, man. Like this is what we do. Abdullah's upstairs, sleep somewhere. I don't even know what the heck that old man is doing. You know, he falls asleep too early for us. But anyway, we got some other brothers that's in here. With my brother that's working in a hotel. We just gave him some jewels.
Unfortunately, our schedule didn't permit us to see the lecture.
No, come on, man. Come on over here, brother. Can I get these brothers in? I want to get these brothers.
I'll be brief. Unfortunately, our schedule didn't permit us to see the lecture in its entirety, but we plan to pick our brother's brain in this interview, so I'll be able to come back with a more thorough response, like on the impact. And so I'm just grateful, that brothers out here trying to share.
Yeah, man. This is what we do. This is what we do. So, what do you think about it, man?
Like you said, I wasn't able to see everything, but from what I got. Basically, a lot of stuff I already knew because I did a lot of research on the Moorish Science Temple. I'm still making up my own opinions of everything. I'm still kind of coming up with my own conclusions of how I feel personally about everything that's presented. I don't disagree with anything. I'm not saying, be honest, just being honest. It was good information, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning. So.
And you know what's so deep? The brother that was over there, I can't think of his name. I don't know where he at. But he asked me, why do people always say, well, so what is your religion? that's the key thing. He has asked me that question. I'm like, brother, we invented all religions, so every religion is ours. Islam just means peace. That's all Islam means. So the brother was asking me the question, like the young 14-year-old had a question when we were there. He said, what is their religion? And I had to go back up there to explain that Islam just means peace. So all the religions are really ours. You know what I mean? But people take it and don't really understand what Islam means. And when they mean Islam, they thinking of Sunni Islam, blah. They looking at that instead of looking at the science behind it. So it's a science behind Islam, And like I said, and even in Ethiopia, they say salam. So are they Muslim? No, they're Christian. But it's the language. You follow me? So that's how you have to teach people. You have to it means peace. So we have to take our time and explain this to people, not to be over their heads, but actually because this is new. Just as I was saying when I was doing a lecture, when you're doing yoga, I never did yoga before. But when I was doing yoga, the sister had me bending, no lie, Taj. I was bending back. Like, dude, like you would bend this way. I was bending that way. I can't do it now. But to show you slowly but surely how she was moving my muscles to move a certain way. It's the same thing with people's brain. Like when you can't give it all to them right now, they lose their minds. And it's like, dude, it's a turn off. You know what I mean? Because they really don't comprehend. They say they understand it. Like people looking at this think they understand it, but they really don't. It's a process you go through because we have 12 years of brainwashing
development. And
then 6 more years maybe in a college of brainwashing. And things that we're saying is law is not law. You see what I'm saying? We don't even understand that policies are not laws, ordinances are not laws, regulations are not laws. So it's something they have to grow into, you know what I mean? But we're here to keep doing what we're doing so people can get it and make it plain like Malcolm said. That's what we're here for. So we can respond to brothers like the brother in the hotel saying, oh, brother, what's your religion? Or the young brother that was at the lecture 14. Oh, what are their religion? What's their religion? This is what he was saying. I'm like, I got to respond to that. You see what I'm saying? Because most people just say, just Islam and keep it moving. I practice all religions because religion means what, Taj? What does religion mean?
It's cosmogony and astrology. That's what it is.
And it means to realign yourself back to
Yeah.
what?
Your principles of your ancient mothers and fathers. It's the science that runs the planet Earth and a study of the universe and the elements and their relationship to nature and to all life forms on the planet. That's religion.
That's religion.
And it is what? Established disciplines that are ancient. They're not confusing.
Nope.
And this is the other deal. Very often people will say, what's your religion? While they themselves don't even know what religion is. It's like someone saying to you, what's your money?
It's true.
And then you ask them what money is and they'll pull out Federal Reserve notes, which isn't money. Right. And they do the same thing with dogmata that they think is religion. So when people ask questions like that, that's part of the training. Because what they're really saying is to you, when they do that, you're dealing with facts. You're not supposed to be dealing with facts.
Yep.
You're stepping in God's territory. See, because the training has been, don't deal with knowledge, only deal with beliefs that we give you. And when you step over that line, you're offensive. So when they start making statements like that or questions like that, it's really what you would call projected dominant statement, meaning that they're trying to dominate the position by simply accusing, saying, you don't have a right to knowledge because you don't believe in the God, when that's not even a subject matter. And not even know what God is.
Nope.
You know, don't even know its Germanic origin. And that is contemporary.
Say it again, man.
Its Germanic origin. It's not even ancient on the planet.
Hope y'all getting something out of this.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And scholars know this, but the followers don't know this. This is why, again, why a lot of people in positions of power will try to imply that people who deal with knowledge are atheists or anti-God or don't like Jesusness and all this kind of stuff, to try to shut down the people they're teaching because it will liberate them from them. You know, like let's do this simple. This is a lesson, very simple. And this is back to what we talked about, how simple it is really to educate people. Like this. How many people throw the word God around and don't know that to the Romans, it actually means gold, oil, and drugs? And that's how they run the world. And it also means government ordinance departments. And when it's used in the sense of the books, it is Gott, come from gut, G-U-T, and G-U-T-T, which is actually German, which means good. So when people are saying God is good, what they're saying is good. To them, they're talking about the creative forces. And then them same people will turn around and say, Satan is the God of this world. And then if you ask them, well, why you always talk about Satan? You believe in Satan? No, we don't believe in Satan. We believe in God. Then you just say Satan's God of this world and you keep talking about him. What do you mean you don't believe in him? You do. Stop. And then you run out judging other people. When you really watch people that play these games, they're depending on the average person's inability to read or to use basic intelligence. See, because in dogmata, intelligence and common sense is discarded. And when you step out of that fence and start dealing with divine reasoning, notice how they get upset. They actually get mean and angry with you for thinking for yourself. As if you are offending creation. They do. You start using your divine reasoning power and watch their eyebrows get different and all the love that they're supposed to be showing you in the name of the Lordness. And all of a sudden you start, and they're sticking toothpicks in you. Your God ain't good as my godness, and you ain't saved. Damn, you know, if this is love, don't give me no more. You know, and they all do it in the name of religion while not even knowing what religion is. They just say it because everybody says it. Now, again, God came into use on the planet roughly just before and thereafter the
get a dictionary or
4th century. After the 4th century. And it's more a concoction of the priesthood of Rome. Just like worship is a system of dogmatic operations introduced by the priesthood, but does not really exist in the ancient world, but yet they make it retroactive. And the truth is, it isn't. And all scholars really know that. And it's sort of like they get upset if we say like what we're talking right now, if we're just being blunt and tell the truth. Because what it does, it upsets the stability of powerful institutions who've been perpetrating this fraud on humanity for generations. And they don't recognize truth as authority. They recognize authority as truth.
Mm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got one question, if I could ask.
Sure. Shoot,
well,
bro.
Something what you were saying earlier is that you practice all religions. So if you practice all religions, it's help.
You're practicing cosmogony. See, but then you got to know what religion is.
Hold up a second. I want to hear what he's finished.
Well, like if you practice in all religions, well, I guess it's a question. What is?
That's why you got to know what religion is.
Hold up, Taj. I want to hear the question. Let me hear the question out real quick. I want to hear everything out before I respond to it.
If you say that you practice all religions, I mean, I guess do you go? I mean, do you go against religion? Because I guess I'm just kind of confused of what I'm hearing.
You heard what he said, though, right? You heard what Taj said.
Yes.
What is it, Taj? Cosmology, right? Okay. So now, I'm not against no religion. If we created all the religions is mine. So no matter what I accept, if my religion, but my nationality is different. We created the religions. If I say Tawahado, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. That's Orthodox Christianity, true Christianity. If I say Islam, I'm just saying peace. Do that sound like I'm against something? No, right? No. I'm not against anything, right? No. So I'm only showing you that what he's saying about what religion is, we don't understand what religion means. We thinking it from, what they call it, what's the word that they use? They say about the religion, they call it the clubism, whatever. It's a dogmata, clubism. That's what you're looking at. I'm not talking about that. I'm a spiritual being. So we just put the labels on these things, but all of this, it's mine. You see what I'm saying? No matter what religion I pick, I observe the Sabbath. You see what I'm saying? That's what I would do on a Saturday. So I would deal with Islam on a Friday, Salat, whatever. But all the religions are mine. Islam only means peace.
Is it one? Is it one God?
Tawahado only means one also. There's only one God. It's only one. Islam practicing. Orthodox Christianity says God is one too.
Right.
So it's one. That's it.
And then this is where, now let's explain. This is how this answers your question and his too. And this is what the priests know as an example. For the masses, when they're saying one God, right? Then a child would say, well, when Muslims make the Hajj and they go counterclockwise in circumambulation ritual 7 times counterclockwise. Yeah. And then in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, where you got the 7 golden candlesticks, what relation does that have to each other? And name the different candlesticks. And what do they represent? Mm-hmm. Now the priesthood is in a dilemma because they got to tell the truth. Well, you see, the 7 candlesticks are symbolic of the 7 Eloah. The 7 Eloah are collectively one called Elohim.
Yep.
So Elohim is one of 7. Now you see the distinction between the science and the spookism. So the person who doesn't know, they're arguing one God and don't even know what they're talking about. Because they don't even know what the 7 candlesticks are. Do you understand? And the priesthood ain't talking. Now, and what happens, and when Sabir said he's practiced all religion because he knows the truth, that all of them lead to cosmology.
Yep.
The believers don't know that because they're taking them in their anthropomorphic form and don't know that. No different than, like, say, you know, the babies, like when your children were babies, right? And they're looking at cartoons and they have like squirrels or something with big bright eyes looking like little children and they're talking. And they might have a little monkey with a fez on and they're talking. And, you know, that's called anthropomorphism. Now, when you're talking about Jesus, that's anthropomorphism, right? So the anthropo, that is the human form or an animal form. And then the morphing is where they transfer the energies or the representation of characteristics from an object or a thing into the human form for the expression to children. But when you grow up, you're supposed to put them childish things away. The priesthood keep the adults on that degree.
Yes.
That's where dogma comes from.
Exactly.
Are we clear? Where religion is really the science. As an example, like say if we had a board right now, right? And I put a nucleus on that board, then I put these oval tracks, one way, the other way, and then I put proton, electron, right?
Man.
Now that's atom, with the electrons and neutrons rotating around the sun, which is the nucleus, atomic. Same as the bigger universe on a smaller scale. And yet that is the father of all life. That's Adam, which is the father of all life. For an adult, for children, it's Adam and Eve. Then they have a man figure with a leaf around his lower, around his keisters and stuff, right?
He said keisters.
Yeah.
Todd is funny. He said keisters.
Yeah, yeah. And so, but when the child gets older, you take them from the childish things and give them science.
Exactly.
So Adam is that structure, you know, just above the quark. And then the energy that rotates around it, just like the planets rotate around the sun, they never touch it, but yet they give life to it. And it has a positive and negative forces.
Yes.
Adam and Eve. Eve is the evolution of all life.
Evolution. Evolve.
As it evolves.
Evolve. Evolution.
So Adam is a masculine principle, just as the sun is in astrology. And then the moon is the feminine principle, and Venus, feminine principle, as in what? The universe. And when you understand it, all of your major, that's why they'll tell you, scientists and anthropologists will tell you, all your major religions have the same root.
Yep.
What they don't do is tell you what the root is. They'll just make that statement without qualification. I just told you what it is. So now when you grow up and stop being a little boy and girl, you don't start getting angry.
That's why they tell you have to be born again, because they want to keep you a child.
And with a new mind.
No, they want to keep you a child. That's why they say you got to be born again. We got to keep you in a child's state of mind. Stay there.
That's
so
why
be born again, okay?
Opportunists get angry when this information comes out because they can't take the widow's pennies anymore.
Exactly.
See, when you have adults that are still in the child degrees or anthropomorphic demonstration without qualification, then I taught Jesus this morning. I got a personal relationship with Jesus. I got a cell phone. You know,
I can call him on
the phone. Then they start
right?
speaking in tongues and stuff. And you ask them, can you interpret it? It's not for you to know. Then what you tell me for? It's not for me to know. You can't even interpret your own stuff. So don't even come with that. Oh, you got a devil. Then they start that kind of stuff. You ain't saved. And that's BS. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And the real deal is the reverends know it, the imams know it, the rabbis know it. All priests know the anthropomorphic origin of the personification of energies and powers in the universe for little children. That's fact. It's not made up. And for control purposes, they keep the adults on that child level. Yep. And that's why they conflict with this information. They think you're doing something different. They think you're attacking their God. They don't even know what God is.
Oh, listen, we get it. It's like 3 o'clock.
Hey, y'all.
Listen. I hope y'all got some, because brothers get ready to do this interview with us. We got to grade. Shut it down. We just wanted to give y'all a taste of what was going on tonight.
Love you all.
Do your research. Don't believe what Brother and Taj and I say here. Just play this back 1,000 times. Yeah. Do your due diligence, man, and find out this information for yourself.
For yourself.
Period.
This is what we always say, and you know this for years. Don't accept what we say, but have enough respect if you disagree to prove us a liar.
I say that all the time. Prove us a liar. That's what we say.
You know, don't give us your opinion. Do your research and prove us a liar, and then you'll come back and you'll be teaching us. Then you're in harmony.
If they're humble enough, they'll come back and tell us.
They're not arrogant enough.
Yeah, because a lot of them.
Because even the child, because anybody that seeks it will find it. It's not even though the Europeans have operationally under the unum sanctum policies, indexus librorum expurgatorius and indexus prohibitorum, which is the policies that operate on the planet for the last 300 years. All across the planet, is not absent anywhere. There's still enough left that when you begin to search, because they could not wipe it out, that you will find the truth. And when you start looking, it will find you.
Yep. Boom. So listen, y'all, we gotta wrap it up. Get with the brothers over here, because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. We don't stop.
Out of darkness, y'all.
Got to get out of darkness, man. If y'all didn't get that, you're missing out.
Oh, we're going to do a second one.
Oh, yeah, we're working on part 2. They know about the part 2 of Out of Darkness. It's going to be Amadeus Christ. I'm probably directing the second one and producing it, but it's going to be crazy hot. We're going to have the Ethiopian community in there. We're going to build it on live.
And look for the next cover. It's going to have.
It's going to be hot. The other cover is going to be
sister and a little brother on the cover.
Dope. Yes, it's going to be dope. Probably front and back. It'll be dope. Have it on the front and the back. So listen, we got to get out of here, man. Get with the brothers. Peace. It's like, again, 3 o'clock in the morning. He got to roll out. I roll out from Texas on Monday. They're leaving tomorrow. So watch out for the DVD. We just finished up tonight, the Triple Light Tour. Hopefully we get to your town. I don't know yet. We get a good sponsor, maybe so. I'm going to say peace to everybody. Share this video out, y'all. Peace. One love. Lessons for the night.
Peace.
And thank the brothers and sisters that came in and talked about the film, man. All right, one love. Like I said,
babies in the house.
Babies in the house. We had little JJ in the house. He was hustling the Sabir Bay's water, the Sabir Bay's buttons, man. It was crazy. So it was really good. Like I said, Brother Taj tore it down. I don't know where Brother Abdullah at. We still sitting in the hotel. But we had Brother Abdullah going into etymology, you know, what he does. And listen, I just want to sit back and let these brothers, brother and sister that was there tell y'all what they thought about it. I told you people came in from all over. Where my brother at? What other brother at? X. Let me show y'all something real quick. They shooting a doc, so I'm just pick this up and show y'all how they got the lights set up for us back there. Doc. So them brothers coming with their lights, camera, action. So listen. Y'all can get some testimonies, man, real quick. Not from me, not from Taj, but from
Michelle Renee.
Say it again.
Michelle Renee.
Ex-LA Lakers dancer.
Okay, woo
woo. She said woo woo.
Get to sit behind the stands and hand out all the information that is needed. What I liked about it was Abdullah, Taj, and Sabir.
Absolutely.
And so the transition of it was perfect because language was the beginning. It was like you had to understand the terminology, you had to understand the words, the etymology, and without the beginning of that, you probably wouldn't understand the rest of it. And that's what I liked, how it started from there. Connotative linguistics, denotative, what we had to know about definitions that are being used in a legal perspective, like United States and West America and things like that. That will give you a better understanding of what was really being played on us. So from there, we transitioned from Abdullah when Taj got on.
Our rights being taken from us, and we didn't even know it because we don't know who we are really. And so to be able to have that given back to us, just in just a few words, to know exactly what belongs to you. It was never taken, but from up in here. And once that was restored, then now that empowers you. That's what I got tonight. Like whatever I thought I knew, just opened up a whole nother book. And just literally all I could do was just keep writing, because there's so much to research, and we cannot be afraid to look these things up in a dictionary, carry your books with you, to go get your dictionary on law, just have a dictionary so that you can understand what you are and understand what you are being taught. So that's all I got to say, because I can keep going and going and going. So go ahead.
If we do some good, fine. Go ahead, Steve.
I enjoyed it a lot, mostly because I got to help out. So
Got my man Steve over here. What's up?
All right.
Listen, I'm gonna just move out the way. I'm gonna run upstairs, go grab something from my man, let them give their testimony. Brother Todd's gonna tell y'all what happened. We're gonna shoot and let Steve say what he thought. If y'all like, leave a comment above on the bottom of the Sabir Bay show. All right, take it away. Let me put the sister up first. What do you think?
Goodness, this was like power packed. First time I've been able to sit with some amazing people that just like the story, the era, everything. There was young, old, in between, those with a lot of knowledge, some just beginning in this journey, but we just got the breakdown at what words are and how important they are, what the law is, who we are as people, the power that we have, comprehending who we are, and the fact that we've for as long as that we could ever remember,
here or anywhere in this country.
Okay, y'all.
Radio show. I don't go there.
You act like I'm going to move in a minute. Listen, we getting ready to start this. We just got done doing a lecture in Houston, Texas. Listen, we got the squad. Brother Todd is right here. Cool, brother. You got Brother Todd. We got the brothers back there filming. You got brothers filming. Y'all can just get your B-rolls. What I'm saying, no, I want y'all in here too, but this is B-rolls. My brothers is over here on a documentary right now, so I'm going to leave them in a minute. Yeah. So listen, the lecture was off the hook in Houston. It was packed. We had people from Ohio. You can film, bro. It's all good.
No, this one needs to be charged.
Okay. We had people from Houston. From Ohio. What is it? Florida,
Pennsylvania,
New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Where else we have somebody coming in? Memphis, Tennessee, Alabama. Listen, we had people coming from all over. It was crazy.